For first, without faith, there is no capacity for communion with Yahuah at all. The things of Yahuah are spiritual and invisible. Without faith, we cannot recognize such things, but must be dead to them. Eye which sees, but without that eye we are blind, and can have no fellowship with Yahuah in those sacred truths which only faith can perceive. Faith is the hand of the soul, and without it we have no grasp of eternal things. If I were to mention all the images by which faith is set forth, each one would help you to see that you must have faith in order to know Yahuah and enter into converse with him. It is only by faith that we can recognize Yahuah, approach him, speak to him, hear him, feel his presence, and be delighted with his perfections. He that has not faith is toward Yahuah as one dead. And Yahuah is not the Elohim of the unalived, but of the living. The communion of the living Yahuah goes not forth toward death and corruption. His fellowship is with those who have spiritual life, a life akin to his own. Where there is no faith, there has been no quickening of the Ruach HaKodesh, for faith is of the very essence of spiritual life. And so the man who has no faith can no more commune with the living Elohim and give him pleasure than can a stock or a stone, a horse or an ox hold converse with the human mind. Again, without faith, the man himself is not pleasing to Yahuah. We read, without faith, it is impossible to please Yahuah. But the revision has it better. Without faith, it is impossible to be well-pleasing unto Yahuah. The way of acceptance described in Scripture is, first, the man is accepted, and then what that man does is accepted. It is written, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, that they may offer unto Yahuah an offering in righteousness. First, Yahuah is pleased with the person, and then with the gift, or the work. The unaccepted person offers of necessity an unacceptable sacrifice. If a man be your enemy, you will not value a present which he sends you. If you know that he has no confidence in you, but counts you a liar, his praises are lost upon you. They are empty, deceptive things which cannot possibly please you. O my hearers, in your natural state, you are so sinful that Yahuah cannot look upon you with complacency. Concerning our race, it is written, it repented Elohim that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Concerning many, Yahuah has said, my soul loathed them, and their soul also abhorred me. Is this true of us? You must be born again, or ye cannot be pleasing to Yahuah. You must believe in Yahusha, for only to as many as receive him does he give power to become the sons of Elohim. When we believe in the Yahusha HaMashiach, Yahuah accepts us for his beloved's sake, and in him we are made kings and priests, and permitted to bring an offering which pleases Yahuah. As the man is, such is his work. The stream is of the nature of the spring from which it flows. He who is a rebel, outlawed and proclaimed, cannot gratify his prince by any fashion of service. He must first submit himself to the Torah. All the actions of rebels are acts done in rebellion. We must first be reconciled to Yahuah, or it is a mockery to bring an offering to his altar. Reconciliation can only be effected through the death of Yahushua HaMashiach. And if we have no faith in that way of reconciliation, we cannot please Yahuah. Faith in Mashiach makes a total change in our position towards Yahuah. We who were enemies are reconciled. And from this comes towards Yahuah a distinct change in the nature of our actions. Imperfect though they be, they spring from a loyal heart, and they are pleasing to Yahuah. Remember that in human associations, want of confidence would prevent a man's being well pleasing to another. If a man has no confidence in you, you can have no pleasure in him. If you had a child and he had no trust in his father, no belief in his father's kindness, no reliance on his father's word, it would be most painful, and it would be quite impossible that you should take any pleasure in such a child. If you had a servant in your house who always suspected your every action and believed in nothing that you said or did, but put a wrong construction upon everything, it would make the house very miserable, and you would be well rid of such an inmate. How can I take pleasure in a man who associates with me and pretends to serve me, but all the while thinks me a sheer impostor and gives me no credit for truthfulness? Such a person would be an eyesore to me. It is clear that want of confidence would destroy any pleasure which one man might have in another. When the creature dares to doubt his creator, how can the creator be pleased? When the word which wrought creation is not enough for a man to rest upon, he may pretend what he will of righteousness and obedience, but the whole affair is rotten at the core, and Yahuah can take no pleasure in it. Note again, unbelief takes away the common ground upon which Yahuah and man can meet. Two persons who are pleasant to one another must have certain common views and objects. Yahuah's great object is the glorification of his Son. And how can we be pleasing to him if we dishonor that Son? The Father delights in Yahusha. The very thought of him is a pleasure to Yahuah. He said, as if to himself only, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." This he said afterwards to others, that they might regard it. "This is my beloved Son. Hear ye him." He delights in what his Son has done. He smells a sweet savor of rest in his glorious sacrifice. If you and I believe in Yahuah's plan of salvation through Yahushua HaMashiach, we have a common ground of sympathy with Yahuah. But if not, we are not in harmony. How can two walk together except they be agreed? If we have thoughts of Yahushua such as the Father has, we can live together and work together. But if we are opposed to him on a point which is as the apple of his eye, we cannot be well pleasing to him. If Yahushua be despised, rejected, distrusted, or even neglected, it is not possible for us to be pleasing to Yahuah. According to the well-worn fable, two persons who are totally different in their pursuits cannot well live together. The fuller and the charcoal burner were obligated to part, for whatever the fuller had made white, the collier blackened with his finger. If differing pursuits divide, much more will differing feelings upon a vital point.